Alright, on today's episode of the Fossil Formation Spark build, we're building Chinle formation so we can use the new Postasuchus and Desmatosuchus for an opportunity to show off the Croc DLC. I have a few plans for this exhibit. I've been thinking about it. We're going to build a kind of a more desert vibe exhibit that's trying to kind of evoke a petrified forest. And I want to build ourselves a barn. So the barn we're going to build is going to be based on a viewing gallery for visibility, and then a gate is going to be integrated into the side of the barn so the jeeps come in through the barn to get into the exhibit proper. That's the idea. And we're going to figure out how we can build this properly so that the jeeps can still pathfind through it and everything. It's going to be really our first like substantial modular structure on the channel. We built a few like decorative things, but we never built a building. So that is the first goal for today. So let me start to play around with designs here and get used to the modular building, and then we'll see what I can come up with. All right, here's the initial layout of the structure. We have this outer part built out of kind of the shingle building texture from the new DLC, and then this inner part built from the horizontal wood building texture from the DLC as well. I've turned the inside red for kind of more of a, you know, a deserty vibe. Make it look a little Arizona-ish. Some of those like Flaming Cliffs style, like oranges and reds. Not saying the Flaming Cliffs is in Arizona, mind you, but that aesthetic, right? And then the gate has been integrated into the wall, so you can, in theory, then always put in a gate here with two fence pieces coming off of the side of the gallery, and then an extended fence piece up here, and then you slide the gate down all the way, and it should basically align with the sentry point. The front to back's a little different, but I actually like the gate being relatively flush with the wall on the inside, and I don't mind it extending out on the outside a little bit relative to that, so I think that's okay. We got to build a front wall here that's got like an opening for the animals to come in and out, and the jeeps to get through without running into collision problems. I also need to make this feel like a proper complete building in the front here in some way. I don't know if like we just put over let's go to edit. If we just put these pieces over this like this, if this is going to be too gross visually. Like, it doesn't look bad from here. Do we have a second? Okay, we do have a second floor. Yeah, okay, wait. But we can do this. We can make these... There should be smaller pieces. So we can, like... do that. Sceneries, walls. The new stuff is all at the bottom here, the coastal set. We are using these ones. No, we're using these ones. Change these to this second tier red. And then we should be able to align this. So wait, 1, 2, 3. So these are a third. So I guess we can do 2 of them, maybe? Oh god, it's... I should have put the lower tier in first. There we go. Easier to build above than below. But this is going to be a large part of today's work, I think. Just building stuff. Wait. Yeah, this is second floor. Okay, that's not bad. Weird a little bit. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it. We can always delete it later. Alright, anyway, let me build the rest of the structure and I'll show what I got. Alright, still working on the superstructure here. One, these roof pieces with these little cross beams, these only show if you use these half-sized pieces or you use these angled corners. If you do the regular big piece, let's do this. We go here, we go delete, we go delete. We put in the new coastal roof. This one, the big piece. You could see the cross beams, right? And you put it in and they disappear. Gone. That's annoying. I don't like that. So we use the half pieces so that it's consistent the whole way across. The other neat thing here, well, that's not neat. That's annoying. But the neat thing here is that when you're putting in these different pieces inside, if you put these pieces outside first, and then you connect this piece here, the game knows enough not to extend the redwood texture out to overlap with these. Like the way the corners generate keeps that interior and concealed. So you can merge these two different wall types seamlessly without it causing issues on the outside, as long as you do it correctly. So I do like that. All right, this is what I've decided on. We've got basically what I've showed you already, but I put corrugated metal over here and over this part so that when you're in like first person mode and you like look up into the structure, you don't just see the next interior part. Same with like these recessed red walls in there. Fairly basic, a few banners and windows on the outside. As far as like my first from scratch type basic ass building goes, I'm content with it. Sorry, do we not have... Is there no flat shingle roof? Shit. I mean, it kind of makes sense. So I guess I just gotta keep going. We make the whole thing peaked. Oh dear. Why? Okay, there you go. Or I do a different rooftop. I could do that. We could find something flat. Keep the shingles around the outside. Because otherwise I have to kind of raise it to a point. I kind of like the squareness. Okay, let's do maybe one more tier of like angle pieces. And then we'll find a different material to flatten off the top part of the roof, I guess. It's a little bit of that action. A little bit of this guy. Wait, okay, so now those don't show. So now I can use this, actually. So that it's less pieces and like we can build this quicker. Also probably want to put some sort of like lights inside. I'll have to think about that. Before we build a roof too, because it gets to be worse trying to put shit inside a building once you've started it. You definitely want to build from like the inside out, which requires a lot of forethought and planning, which is real rough if you're not a good builder. Okay. No, I think that looks better with the second level of slope there. I think I'm happy with that. Okay. And then, yeah, I need to just, like, finish the interior then. So we've got, like, okay, so that's merged there. So that's all good. The red walls are connected up everywhere except for over here. So row like this. Links up the red. Oops. The red walls. And then we need the angled pieces like from the other side here. Grab you. But fiddle with getting it to actually go in where it's supposed to go. Come on, you can do it. Get in there. I think it's best to, yeah, start above and then lower it through the roof. This is the best technique I've found. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, because, like, these beams here, I feel like I want the aesthetic to be matched across the rest of the roof, but, like, there's no flat section. I could just keep building the roof the way I've been building it and just, like, see how I feel about it. Yeah, I think we'll throw this up on the workshop when it's done, even if it's not all that cool. Wait a minute. What about a glass roof? Wait a second. Are we cooking? Why does it not grid? Sir? Position snap. What if I do align to surface? Well, then it just aligns to this. Is it because this is inherently rotatable? It's not just a simple roof? Weird. Okay, skylight grids. I just need it to properly pick a spot. Okay. Let's put in a little corner, not like that. And then go first person mode and take a look. You know what? I think I fuck with the skylight. In lieu of having any other structure in here, I think I'm okay with that. Alright. Let's do more. Okay. So I went up another little layer there. You can see it does have kind of a weird effect with this one row of shingles. So it's a half layer. So that keeps the roof profile relatively similar, but gets it so that red strip is not visible through the windows on top. I think that's pretty good. You made a good greenhouse shelter and upload to the workshop. That might be interesting to put in as like a, actually like an attraction or something almost, right? Like a paleo greenhouse walkthrough thing. I could see something with that. Maybe we'll think about that. I want to take a little first person glance inside. Ew! Those don't align. Fuck. It's ruined. Why don't the interior beams align? This is unacceptable. I have to fix it. Okay, we got some trim around the exit point. This is what it is. This is. I'm done. Good enough. Fuck it. I'll upload it when I feel like it, I guess. All right, now for the Chinle exhibit itself, I'm imagining something circular and then like a split level, with some different segments, different segments of terrain heights that all interconnect with like a waterway. And then we'll move this building, place this on the side, flatten off part of the circle, something like that. So the way this circle here is made, we do a 4-path segment, right? Full 4 lengths across the diameter of the circle. So the radius will be 2 path segments. You make spokes to make the perfect circle. I did half because the rest of it should align itself essentially automatically. Terrain too steep. Fuck you. Should align itself automatically, you know, if the terrain is not the devil. But yeah. And then once you have a path section in like this, you can align a fence to the path, right? So this is a medium path, which is maybe actually relevant here. You align a fence to this, and then you do one segment, gets you basically right into the middle of the path. Essentially, like exactly. So once you've dictated the center by having 2 different pieces of path coming in at an angle, like this, right? You can delete these pieces, then you get a corner. Actually, hold on. You want to do this first. You want this piece aligned to the path, as close as you can get it, right? Like this. Not that far. Sorry. There was a lot of experimentation to get this to work in a way that satisfied me. So you do this. You do this. No, you do this. So you know where the corner is. You align this with the corner. You know that it's one fence piece to get inside the path. So then you go one segment up. And then you reconnect there, out. You do 8 segments for 2 full path. That's as close as you can get. And then you can do consistent spokes of 1 full segment and then 8 small segments. And then you can make a circle from that. That should be essentially perfectly aligned with the path, depending on how tightly you've managed to align it. It works. It's rough. It's not the best. That's the best route I could find to actually properly align it without just eyeballing and crossing your fingers. So that's what we are going with. So this is what the current state of the exhibit is for the Crocs, the Chinle formation. We've got this nice triple waterfall now that's pretty well settled in here. And we've opted, I wanted the idea of the water being an artificial source, right? So my original vision was just like a single big pipe and water comes out of it, maybe into a lake, and then that drains. But through collaboration with multiple people in chat, we've kind of come up with a fun little pipe building here, using some of the rebirth pipes, adding the superstructure over it for like support, and playing with like the decals here to make this actually look like it's properly part of the environment through combinations of grime and mold and a few little like damage decals to break up the look. This is the plaster. This superstructure kind of recolored to look like concrete, so it looks a little more textured. And then deliberately overlapping with these pipe frames to make it look like the concrete's kind of reinforced. And then we put some little gratings in here so the dinosaurs can't crawl into the pipes, which makes sense. I think that's pretty sick, especially with the way it can just kind of overlap the waterfall like that and really give you that flowing water aesthetic. Yeah, not quite perfect, because getting the water to like be perfectly inside the pipe and still generate the waterfall is a little tedious, but it's close enough. It's just the concrete's a little leaky. That's fine. Is what it is. All right, we brought everything we built together. The shitty barn has been attached up to the main enclosure. We have the gate properly integrated, unpowered of course, but when it is powered, it will function as the entry point to the enclosure, assuming the car can navigate the building, which is its own open question. We want one of these, a ranger post, and I want it inside specifically so that all the kind of infrastructure is basically tucked away in here, with the exception of the pump house in the middle of the enclosure. I think that's fun. So we'll do this like that. There. And then we'll put some more like design stuff inside, some bedding and stuff for the animals conceptually, that kind of shit. But we'll worry about that later. Looks like an outhouse. It's a little big for an outhouse, man. That's a hell of an outhouse. So in the meantime, I want to get started on our expeditions. Here's the problem. With the dig site randomization, the new animals just automatically slot in where I updated the mod to have new slots for random animals, right? Which happens to be Postosuchus being here at 3 stars. So I'm going to just turn off the research so that we don't waste time trying to get to the star rating we need. And then we'll turn it back on after we've dug up Postosuchus. Just slightly cheating in the interest of doing croc stuff as soon as possible. It's fine. We've literally reset the cash flow in this park like 3 times. So this is like not even the most egregious cheating we've done. So Posto. Right there. So we'll get all these dug up while I play around. Well, mostly while I wait for daytime, so I continue to play around with the exhibit, because I want to get rid of the regular fence. I want to try to use decorative fence for this exhibit. And that may pain me, but we're going to do it. Or try to do it. But I want to see better, and I don't want to turn off day-night cycle. In the meantime, other things are going on here, such as the birth of some new little fellas. Some baby chunks. Good little dude, I think. I like me a chunking. Alright, you go live your life, little fella. I have no status info. Why is that? The ranger's on their way and just has never gotten here ever. Okay, fair enough, I guess. Do I get status info on the babies? I do, and the babies are happy, so it doesn't matter. Do we have humble, social, tolerant? Yeah, I don't think we had traits on these guys. Hopefully. Oh, we can still see the genetic information even when they're not status checked. We're good. Okay. Cool. Nest is deleted. Babies are babying. Great. Fossils. So, we got some Desmato. We got some Posto. And they both have new icons, huh? How fun. Let's do the Postos first. Do we... I turned off research. We'll just do it like this. I'm not gonna like bother thinking about upgrades. We'll just take what we got, do it normal, and that'll be our compromise. We don't get to upgrade because we're cheating to unlock them early anyway. Sorry, this is disgusting. I have to fix this. Okay, other stuff going on, right? I need to name everybody. That's something we've been slacking on. Here's our waterfall, current state of it. Gone ahead, put in these rocks to kind of cover up the imperfections in the water. And the terrain generation, I still need to cover probably this lump here. That lump's a little gross. We've done the rock texture around the water to make it have this more arid environment. Is it the default Anki and Mosasaur fossil icons? Maybe I was too generous again. We got to do some rocks up here on these cliffs, but very happy with how this is coming together. It's looking good. We got this one little tree fern that found a crack in the rock to grow, and I think that's a fun little thing too. All right, to decorate the interior, we've used a Chinle thing from the workshop. This IPAX formation kit Chinle. This is a small nesting area with a few artificial elements. There were some nests in here, we deleted them. And then there's signage, which is out front here with this like framed area. We've deleted the signage in the frame so that it's a little more natural. It's still a little like rounded. We might do some cleaning up to like blend it with the terrain a little bit maybe. But I thought this was a nice little decorative element we could use to fill in a section of this enclosure. That way I don't have to make the whole thing from scratch. We also have off the workshop the other Chinle thing we could find. This sign for the Chinle formation, we need to add Postosuchus and Desmatosuchus to this ourselves, I guess. I will do that at some point. Fossils are not in because I never sent an expedition out. True. That's my bad. Get me more crockies, please. I would like to point out that we're now 5 hours into the stream. That's all I got built because that's how this game works. Brutal. Okay, we got a bunch of Desmato, not so much Posto. Close to done on Des. Let's do that. Alright, now, what I want to do is try and evoke Petrified Forest. So let's start with this. Start with some sand. We got beach, or we got arid. Arid's probably better. Yeah, I think that gives a good mixed vibe for like a petrified forest, maybe. We could even mix in a little like beach sand, cover up some of these like rockier, greener spots a little bit. Wow, that looks like shit. Maybe if we drop the intensity. Man. Isn't building what Evo is all about? Depends on the kind of player you are, and but in this game, yeah, kind of all you can do is build. All right, there's a little bit extra. Right as it starts snowing, I guess. Okay, so scenery. What do we have for like lawns? We got logos. What about stumps? We have a stump. Camera, can you stop dragging me away? So we can do this. Random scale, random rotation. And then we just run a bunch of stumps through here. I like that I have a couple that I double-clicked and they put them in weird areas. off to the side of another tree. Hmm. The LOD for these are really weird. How the stump fills in as you zoom in, like really close. Awkward and gross. I really hate that. No other thing in the game is quite as broken as these that I've seen. Dude, it's so weird. Why do they do this? Okay, well, just don't look too closely at it, I guess. There should be also some trees that are like dried trees. Yeah, here. Wait, is this a different stump? A different, better stump? I think this is a different, better stump. Broken Ponderosa Pine. Well, it was a good first draft of what this area maybe should look like, I guess. Now, the reason we're doing this is because Chinle is associated with the Petrified Forest National Park, which is Triassic in origin. So I thought having an area of the park that kind of echoed that made a bit of sense. We can put a few more of these little more lively trees in here, I guess. That's probably fine. Okay, there's a lot more stumps, actually, that aren't gross, if I would have looked for them. I don't know. That's something. Happy little lively trees, indeed. Okay, more fossils. Should we finish Dismato? I think so. As much as I want to get Posto out, we'll finish Dismato first. And we still... Okay, we don't have all the Posto anyway, apparently, so we can just go back. So yeah, we've put in a few infrastructure buildings, shelter, bathroom to support the upcoming viewing gallery. We'll need probably dedicated amenities. I'm probably going to wait on the amenities because I need to figure out where they're going to go, and we've been accumulating just an insane amount of money while I've been doing this because the game settings are back to base game and it's unbalanced. So we don't really need to worry about optimizing cash flow anyway. So yeah. Okay, we got the rest of the posto bones, so we're gonna go ahead and turn research back on, which should return everything to normal. The game should remember what things we were doing. So now when we go here and we look at our Desmatosukis, when we go to modify, we should only see, yes, amicable. Okay, amicable, humble, no social, I guess. Sure. Okay, so, Chinle formation. We are looking for Death Valley or Sonoran Desert for this exhibit. Sonoran, Death Valley. Wow, those are the same. Less so here. Yeah, I think I just wasn't looking close enough at the actual body color. Or it bugged and it wasn't changing the color. They are actually different. I don't know what I'm talking about. I want to look at our postos before I decide which of the two North American skin colors to use. Ooh, I like both of those. The gray might go better with posto than it does with the Desmato. I think we just do the Sonoran. Yeah, because then we'll save the gray for the herbivores for the second North American exhibit. Yeah, we do Sonoran. Okay. So, Sonoran. Random favorites. And yeah, so worth mentioning again, we're theming the skins roughly around which continents they correspond to, but then fudging them a little bit to get them to match nearby continents when we don't have enough skins, because North America is like overrepresented. Other ones are underrepresented to whole thing. So that's why only Sonoran and Death Valley are what we're using here, because I think it's actually like 4 of the 12 skins that are North American, maybe. Point is, there is a method to my madness, so this makes sense. 8 genetics, perfect. And then while that is cooking, so yeah, I guess we'll need all this. So I guess we'll be working on these guys for a little bit still. All right, 3 Desmatosukis. I think we'll stick with 3. We got Pulcrana. Let's look at the top. That's where the difference is the most. Pulcrana, Lethal Baits, and Pulcrana. Okay, and then for our males, Calcarana, Pelophylax, Rana. I like the Rana. The red and yellow is a good look. So we could do this. Yeah. All right. And then I'm going to try and breed these guys maybe, but I don't know if the amicable... So juveniles behave weirdly, right? Animals that sometimes get along will kill each other's juveniles. So I don't know if amicable is going to fall into that same weird category where they still kill each other's kids or something. We'll just have to find out. Little science experiment. It's the first time we've actually really used amicable properly.
Acknowledging asset collection request.
So yeah. All right. Yeah, we got to do one more batch after that. Seems fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Desmatosukis to the park.
I want to populate the rest of this exhibit, but I want to get some of the actual, you know, proper veg, I guess.
Asset transportation underway.
Since we're going to breed these guys, they're going to have to be comfortable. Like, there's limits to how much we can do without that. Oh, this has more lights and decorative shit than I realized. Shit. Yeah, there's lights embedded in this, like, all over the place. I also did miss this frame around the back. I think I just delete the arch. We'll just keep this part of the design. It's a nice arch and everything, but the artificiality clashes with what I'm trying to do here.
Crikey, that's one heavily defended animal right there. And I'm being deliberately vague because the Desmatasuchus isn't a dinosaur, but a distant relative of modern crocodiles. And even though it's an herbivore, I'm more likely to wrestle a croc than I am this spiky armored little glimpse of prehistory. FYI,
We
I
want
won't
cypress
be
and
wrestling
we
a croc
want
anytime soon either.
the other trees. I mean, the cypress is usually better looking. Let's do the cypress downhill here. Around the lake at the bottom. Then let's do... How do I get lily pads? Okay, that gives me reeds and stuff. Which brush actually generates the lily pads? This generates these fucking spikes, which are like whatever. Because I know the lily pads are like very particular, but I actually am not clear where they come in, brush-wise. Well, I guess we just go with this, because at least this ground texture, the water's good, like the groundwater style environment, but it's a little obnoxious with how it doesn't really blend sometimes. So I think it's better to try and, like, at least go with the, more blendable wetland textures to, like, at least cover up the edges. It's weird, right? Because it does still generate the groundwater sometimes. I don't know, man. Shit just does stuff sometimes. I don't know. Like, what is that now? Is that just, like, sand? Mystery. Ground fiber for these guys. Throw a little bit in there, a little bit in over here. Just gonna kind of splatter some around in general, maybe. Okay. They'll have enough cover once they move around, and we're gonna put some other trees in here, I think, anyway, so should basically be fine. Nest. Large nest. Really? Why are they large nest? Seriously? They need this nest to breed? Are you joking? We'll just put it here. We'll delete it once they breed. I just want one clutch of babies. Can't breed increase comfort. You're fine, you nerd. Yeah, see? Alright. Well, there's our Desmatos. Earn some goodwill, get them back to work, pay them enough. Okay, goodwill. Yeah, take care of your medical bills, whatever. Right, Postasuchus.
I'm on it.
Yeah, it's a little swamp down here, little dry, petrified woodland up here, and other vibes in between, and that's the exhibit, I suppose. All right, Postasuchus, Sonoran Desert, random favorite on everything. Sonoran, random favorite. Traits, amicable, Humble. Social. Go. Also batch size of 3, and we're also going to breed babies, assuming we can get them both to breed. We may have to... I don't know if, like, amicable covers other things that mess with breeding, right? Like cohab issues, so... We'll see what happens here. Alright. Female, male. Female, male. Blue... Papu, Papu. So these are the same. So we got this one with the red face markings. This one with the blue face markings. And then this one also with the blue. I think I like the red. I think we'll do like this. We should have done 2 males for Desmato and 1 female, because the females have the bigger spikes. Makes them feel like they're the dominant one. Too late now. I think that would have been a good idea. I could still do it, technically. Get rid of one of them or something. Whatever. Storm approaches the island. Also, the territory does go outside, but that should be fine as long as the hitbox is correct for the building. I don't know if we've ever had a ranger get in here, so we should definitely make sure this building's going to work. We also need to get the vet going. Ranger team cannot find access. Now, is the access... Yeah. Damn it! So the building doesn't work. I wonder if it's... if making the gate bigger would help? Let's try that. Okay, we might be good. Fence is broken. Oh, there. It doesn't matter. This one does. Right as I airlift the postos, too. Classic. Alright, first one's coming in.
The Postosuchus is an ancient crocodile relative, and it dominated its hunting grounds. Back in the Triassic, it saw the dinosaurs it lived alongside as little more than prey. So just imagine how it looks at us.
Put a goat feeder up there. They need to link up. And then they should have arid when they get this, and maybe there'll be enough wetland down the hill for them when they get down there. Posto one lady. It's the only one on the ground right now. Oh, this place is getting chewed the fuck up.
Asset delivery confirmed. Adding to the list.
Okay, this is already off to a swimming start here. Wait, they're coming back in. Dude, fucking make up your mind! In or out so I can repair the fence, please! He's out. He's on a break. What is he doing now? He's going for a sit. Alright, I'm gonna name you Niles because you're a crocodile. And then I'm gonna name you Everglade. And that's as far as I've gotten with nicknames. I don't have a third for another female. These are actually Pokemon nicknames
Ladies and
for
gentlemen,
Totodiles.
the hurricane has now passed. Please.
Well, that was disastrous.
Asset collection requested.
Okay, how we doing here? Danger to guess. Are you sure? Oh,
Assets in the air.
yeah, we didn't really see the car make it in there, but I think we're pretty sure it did make it, right? Are you actually pissed at me? No. This is just JWEing. I mean, kinda. Because you're all up here. What is your territory? This is your territory. Classic. So what do? We do a little this. Hey, can I have that territory, please? Thank you. We do a little more wetland down here. Enough to make sure they're not gonna, like, bust out on it. Okay. Okay. Close that. Is my power... Yeah, power's back to normal on the geothermals, because it does scale up when you adapt things. So I was a little worried it had gotten weird. Alright. Well, that was exciting. Let's get these guys comfortable. So we definitely need more wetland. They are still missing this corner. It was getting close. Okay. Guess that'll have to work. We can adjust it a little bit. And, like, once we get babies in, that'll also be a thing we have to take care of anyway. Very high wetland need. Plenty of arid already, too. So it really is just the wetland. Alright. Medium nest. So the Desmatos need a large nest, and these guys only need a medium. Very interesting. Don't know about that, my guys, but whatever. Okay, I think we can wrap this one up here. Oh, that's fun with the monorail right underneath the moon. Some ETS shit. All right, until next time.